Hi, my name is Eric Rosen. Welcome to the Rosen Report, wearing the Rosen Report swag, my new hat. You can watch my interview of Ted Seides, who is a brilliant interviewer and investor who runs something called Capital Allocators. It's a very well-known podcast. So check that out. On to the theme piece. Today I'm talking about Rosen Report Jobs. If you know me and you read the newsletter, you know I'm passionate about helping kids find jobs. I mentored 72 kids last year. I'm on the phone with these kids constantly, helping them with their resume, helping them pick classes, giving them mock interviews to prepare for job presentations. And they're calling me begging for summer internships. And I'm doing my best to use my network to help. It's very late in the season, but I'm hopeful that Rosen Report Jobs will help uncover some jobs for kids. As many as we'll get this year, I hope we do far better next year when we have some more time. How can you help? Companies, please post jobs on Rosen Report Jobs for summer internships. Candidates, please post your resumes. And then interns, please do that as well. This is all free. I'm not charging for any of the internship jobs. If you do want to hire permanent positions, I'm doing that as well and giving big discounts to use the system if you have some job openings. I right now have a lot of very good, high quality candidates in credit, whether it's for hedge funds, trading desks, salespeople, analysts, traders. I have very good people for private credit. And then I've got a bunch of very impressive quants. So if you need that, great. But please check out Rosen Report Jobs. Give me feedback. It is a new site that we just launched. I had an interesting dinner that I want to talk about at a new restaurant in Miami called Pasta y Basta. It literally means pasta, that's it. And let me tell you, they ain't lying. You can get pasta, 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 or pasta. They actually have one salad, but they don't even have any hot sides. It's homemade, handmade deliciousness. It's some of the best pasta I've had in Florida, and it's 100% worth the look. It's down in Miami in Midtown, and I strongly suggest you go. I had this delicious tomato sauce with pork jowls, and it was mouth-watering. I loved it. We shared 3 different pastas. We had a spinach ravioli, we had a lovely gnocchi with gorgonzola cheese and walnuts, and we had a beautiful fettuccine with bolognese. All didn't disappoint, and you can see the pictures to prove it. The one downside is when you eat that many carbs at lunch, you're full. You got to run before and you got to run after. 2-time workout that day with all that food. Very good. Pasta y Basta. I strongly recommend it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the market other than to say what Meta did was very impressive. Popped 20% post earnings. It made Zuckerberg $28 billion in a day. 28 billion would make him the 60th person on the Forbes 400 list. So that's a hell of a good day to make 28 billion in one day. Net worth up to 165 billion. They beat earnings, as did Amazon. Also beat earnings, was up 7%. Apple disappointed a little bit, down. But the big data on the week was the jobs report, which blew through expectations, 353,000 jobs relative to 185,000 expectations. And that made markets move. It made equities go up. It pushed bonds down. Going into the data, there was supposed to be 5 or 6 cuts in 2024. The market's now expecting 4 to 5. So markets moved on that. I've got some good charts related to all those things. I watched a great interview on CNBC with Jeff Gundlach. Jeff Gundlach is considered the bond king, very impressive on macro calls. He actually believes we're still going to see a recession in 2024, which is definitely against the grain. And he is not convinced that the jobs number is going to change anything. I did find this article very interesting about jobs cuts. We have now seen a 136% increase in layoffs in January of 2024 versus the prior month. So we're seeing an uptick in layoffs. So take a look at that. I've got the Challenger job cuts graph to insert for you here. Elon Musk is trying to move the headquarters to incorporate in Texas. It was in Delaware after losing on that $56 billion pay package, which is interesting. MasterCard jumped on a generative AI that they say will be used to detect fraud. I really like this. I've had my credit cards hacked before, and I think AI is going to change the game for companies over the next 5 years, make people more efficient. I just learned of a company that's using an AI product to make analysts more efficient. I think it's very interesting, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it. Black Swan author Nassim Taleb came out and started stating his fears about the debt levels for the U.S. government. I've been talking about this for 18 months. My investing hero, Stan Druckenmiller's talking about it. Jamie Dimon's talking about it. Barry Sternlitz's talking about it. Now Nassim Taleb is talking about it, and I keep talking about it. We need changes. We need changes to entitlements. We need changes to government spending. We need changes to government waste. We need changes to giving money to every country that asks constantly. And we need to change the way we do the omnibus bill with respect to all these different bills in one bill, 4,000-page bills that Congress people have 1 to 2 days to turn around and read. And by the way, they have to state that they've read and understand everything in the bill. I can assure you that 0.0% of Congress reads a 4,000-page bill in a day. Physically impossible. We need to raise the age of qualifying for entitlements. We need to means test. I really liked Warren Buffett's idea of making Congress balance a budget. Any year that there is more than a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, Congress cannot get reelected. I checked the last 23 years. They would have only qualified 6 out of 23 years. So about 74% of the time they would have been fired under Buffett, and I would take it down to 2% because we have such a problem. The DA of Fulton County is in more hot water after she admitted her affair with her subordinate. Note that Fulton County is rife with corruption. The prior DA of Fulton County had all kinds of investigations, and it was a disaster. And now we have Fannie Willis admitting that she's having an affair with her subordinate, who has charged $653,000 for his services, while the other two DAs are less than $90,000. Congratulations to Joe Rogan, signed a $250 million deal. Anyone listening, I'm available. I will be slightly less than $250 million, and hopefully in a few years' time, I will be competing. So Joe, I'm coming for you, kid. Ozempic, it is a drug that I know a lot of my friends are on. And it seems that there's an article that suggests that you lose more than just fat, you lose muscle. And actually looking at people who are on it, obviously they look much better because they've lost a lot of fat, but they look soft. It's a weird look. So I'm not saying you shouldn't take it, but I'm saying it's not all good. I consider myself a really good dad, and I do a lot for my kids. The dad of the year got a tattoo on his tush of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in order to get his girls tickets to the concert for Taylor Swift. Now, there's a lot I'll do for my kids. Getting a tattoo on my ass of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is not on the list. And it was a big tattoo. So you can see it in my link. It's quite scary. On the real estate front, South Florida really heats up this time of the year. People are down from the tri-state and the Midwest looking for houses. And if there's high-end homes that are going to trade, they tend to trade a lot in January, February, and March. We've seen a big uptick. A house on my block just sold for $16.85 million, which it's a beautiful new house. And 3 homes on the water have sold between 15 and 20, not too far from me. And then lastly, a house that was on the market for 18 months, asking way too much. I saw it. I spoke to the agent and I said, hey, you're asking way too much here. They lowered the price, and within 24 hours, they got 2 offers. Here's a piece of advice. If you want to sell your house, don't have aspirational asking prices. It makes your house sit on the market longer, and it sits there and nobody buys it. So if you need help, I'm available to help you in South Florida. I work at Douglas Elliman, and I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I had somebody who was looking at a very big house, very, very big lot, and I told him not to buy it. It was too expensive for the community he was looking, and he thanked me for being honest because I want to help you. And if I can do it, I'm here to help. There's a great article in the Wall Street Journal about the rise of the $100 million home, and there's 2 fantastic charts showing where all the states that these $100 million homes are trading, and it shows the number of 9-figure deals over time. And the last few years, we've seen a lot more with all of the money. Lastly, there's some positive news on New York City office. More and more people are coming back to the office in New York City, which is great. Sadly, they need to clean up crime and homelessness and filth to get everybody back, but at least the data is trending in the right direction. So that's a quick summary of the events of the last few days. I appreciate you watching the Rosen Report. Thank you.